Have you ever heard the parable of the long spoons? You won't find it in the Bible, but it is a great story about human nature and what God wants to teach us. One day there was a man who said to God, "I'd like to know what heaven and hell is like." So God showed the man two doors. Inside the first one was a large round table and a big large pot of vegetable stew sitting in the middle of the table. It smelled delicious, but the people sitting around the table were thin and sickly and appeared famished. They were holding spoons with very long handles, and each could reach into the pot of stew and get a spoonful, but because the handle was longer than their arms, they could not get the spoons back into their mouths. The man shuddered to see their suffering, and God said, "You have seen hell." Behind the second door, the room appeared exactly the same. There was a large round table and the large pot of vegetable stew. The people had the same long-handled spoons, but they were well-nourished and plump and were laughing and talking. The man says, "I don't understand." God smiled. "It is simple." He said, "Love only requires one skill. These people learned early on to share and feed one another, while the greedy only think of themselves. God created us for fellowship and loving each other, just as He loves us. Man has created many things and gadgets for convenience that keeps us apart. In these last days, we are learning to expect the unexpected. There may be a time coming when none of us will want to be alone. God has a plan to help us during these times. Similar to Christians of the New Testament who came together and shared everything in common. This became a daily thing, not just once a week. God is wanting to prepare us for what is coming. God knows that we need time to set up financially for what is coming. It's important to seek God for His solutions. I know this is hard to imagine that life as we know it will change. The Bible clearly talks about this. We don't know when, only follow God's lead. God's provision will be available to those who seek and follow Him.